Good afternoon, guys. It is March 10th, 2023. Well, in this video here, I want to give you guys a updated review on this Eureka Mighty Mite canister vacuum cleaner. Now, this vacuum cleaner, I bought. This is gonna be like a almost 4 year use review. I bought it in July of 2019, and I bought it brand new. Nobody else has owned it except for me. Brand new in the box. And this is pretty much the only machine I bought brand new. I did buy a Shark Navigator Deluxe brand new back in 2014. I do not have that machine anymore. I am really not a fan of Sharks, and I just passed it down to a friend who needed a vacuum cleaner at the time, and I had plenty of others that I enjoyed more. So, yeah. So, enough of the rambling. I'm going to get into my review here. Now, let's take a look at some of the features of the machine real quick. Let me see if I can get down here. For you guys. So, let's see here. Obviously, I did buy this brand new, so I have the owner's guide. Pretty straightforward. It shows you what comes in the carton. Let's see if I can get this a little closer to you guys. So, yeah, it comes with a bunch of stuff. Now, this is the base model, so this doesn't have the HEPA filter. It doesn't have the telescopic wand. It doesn't have the turbo nozzle. It doesn't have anything. This is the base model, most basic you can get. Now, let me unhook the hose here, and let's take a look at the main machine here. Now, let me get closer so we can see what's going on. Now, as we take a look at the machine here, you can get these in blue or yellow, and I believe purple too. The purple one is supposed to be a pet model. That's a common theme on vacuum cleaners. Manufacturers have just chosen purple to indicate that it's a pet model. So, which is interesting because when we had my dog, we did use purple for her collars and leashes and stuff for quite a few years. It was kind of cute. But it's just interesting to think about. So whenever I see purple and it is labeled as pet, it just makes me smile. It's cool. But this one is not designed or marketed towards pets. And I will mention that just because a vacuum cleaner says that it's designed for pets doesn't mean that it's better necessarily. It's basically the same machine, but the only thing is they change the color and they give you like a turbo brush or something that does a little bit better on pet hair. But that's all it is. I mean, the motor is exactly the same. The machine is exactly the same. The tools are pretty much exactly the same, aside from maybe slightly different tools or slightly more tools or better tools for pet hair. So that's just something to keep in mind. But even if you get a base model, you can get like a turbo brush or something to use with this. I have a turbo brush that I bought separately that I use with several different machines, and it works wonders on this. Now, the machine itself is about, I would be shocked if it were more than 2 or 3 pounds. Just the machine itself, and especially with an empty bag, because like I'm carrying this with 2 fingers. So, I mean, it does have some weight to it in the back, because that's where the motor is. So it's not like, it weighs absolutely nothing. But, I would honestly be surprised if it was more than 3 to 5 pounds. So that is a good plus. If you need a lightweight machine, this is definitely a lightweight machine. No complaints there in terms of weight, although I don't necessarily have too many issues with weight because I do have heavier machines and I do just fine with them. So it just depends on your situation. If you are, a smaller person or a elderly person who needs to be careful with, weight, or you have a medical condition, that is a valid concern. So this is lightweight, and it's gonna be good for you there. Now, a couple features. This does come with a crevice tool. Nice size crevice tool, nice and long. Gets the job done and tends to fit into most spaces and things like that. I've used this a lot. It's wonderful. So there's your crevice tool. And then the other tool that you get is a 2-sided sort of dust brush, which this is pretty rough of a brush, so I would not use this for dusting furniture like this dresser you see behind me here, or anything like that that could scratch TV screens or anything. I would stay away. Now, this brush would be good for like air registers, like the return where you have air intake that collects all that dust. This would be perfect for that. Perfect for, vents and, maybe baseboards or something like that. But for delicate items, I would not use this brush on it. That's just something to be aware of. Now, there are 2 holes. There's one hole for the brush side, and there's one hole for the upholstery nozzle side. And yeah. Now, this upholstery nozzle side, I have used. It does a fairly good job for various things. It's not the best. Like, don't think you're going to be able to clean up pet hair with this. It's just not going to happen. That's one reason why I recommend a turbo brush or something to that effect. Now, what would be nice is if there was some kind of stiffer, brush strip down the center of this, or maybe on one end of this or something, or felt strips, just to give a little bit more agitation to kind of pull up you know, lint and hair and stuff, but otherwise it's mediocre. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not bad, and the construction is honestly pretty good quality. It feels solid and rigid. It does not flex. So it's very nice. Same with the crevice tool. Very solid, and I don't think you're going to have any issues. And so the crevice tool slides in the back here, and it goes into the handle. So you're going to slide it right in there, and then the combination tool here, you're going to put on these two little posts back here, if you can see that, and it just sits right in there. So now you can put a HEPA filter on this. It would go back here. But also this is where you would connect the hose if you wanted to use it as a blower. And that's a nice feature of this machine. If you wanted to reverse it to inflate things, and I will talk about that in a minute. So that's the machine itself. Oh yes, and a few more things. This is the power button. This is where you access the bag. Just open that, and then bag pulls out. The bags are fairly small, but all this is just a straight suction canister vacuum. I would not consider this like a full-on vacuum for your entire house, unless you have like a small house with all hard floors or a small apartment with all hard floors. But it is a good secondary machine for attachment cleaning and lots of various jobs. So that's that. And the cord wraps on the bottom. The front caster wheel holds the cord on there, and the cord is pretty good quality. It's about a 20-foot cord, so it's not a super long cord. However, on a canister vacuum cleaner, this is an acceptable length because you have the length of the hose, and so it more than makes up for the 20-foot cord that you get on this machine. And the cord is good quality, no complaints there. I've not had a single issue with this, so very, very happy with that. So that's the main machine. Now onto the hose. The hose is good. It's plastic. You do have a suction relief valve here. So this is open, and that's closed, and you can open it halfway and control the amount of suction and airflow. Nice standard 1.25" fitting, so you can get aftermarket attachments and stuff to, add to your kit. You're not just bound and stuck to, what you get, with the machine. Here's the end that goes into the machine. It swivels on this end, and it swivels on the handle end, so that's nice. It's not going to get all kinked up. I have never had an issue with this hose kinking or getting crushed. It is fairly good quality. It does feel a little bit cheap. I was kind of skeptical when I first got this machine, just because I'm more used to like slightly higher end vacuums and higher grade vacuums, but honestly, I've not had a single complaint with this, and it's held up perfectly over time. And so, yeah. Now, this end will go into the front for vacuuming. So, to vacuum up dirt, dust, and debris. And then if you wanted to, you could put it in the back to use it as a blower. Now, I've not used it as a blower. I don't really need to, but that's just the option there. So no complaints with that. Now, a few other things about this machine. Basically, you have to excuse me, I've got hair and debris on this. This is your nozzle. Now, something to note about this machine. This is not a carpet vacuum cleaner. If you have very, very, very low pile or very delicate rugs or, something like that, it would be fine. But thicker rugs, high pile carpet, wall-to-wall carpet, this is not the machine for you. This machine is good to be used in conjunction with your upright. And so that's just something to note. Now it does have a squeegee in the back, which kind of helps, guide debris into the air path here. And then it has this little felt strip, which kind of helps, dislodge debris and hair from rugs and stuff. Now it does have this brush here, which you'd have this brush out for hard floors, and then you would retract the brush for rugs. And that's controlled by this. So this is retracted, and then that pushes the brushes out. I almost never use the rug setting unless I'm cleaning a delicate rug or just trying to get, surface debris off, which is rare. I don't normally do that. Yeah. These wheels are not rubber coated, they are plastic, but they are not rough. They're not hard, they're not sharp, they're not cheap feeling, so they're decent. If you have very delicate floors, I would be very careful about using this nozzle. You can get aftermarket nozzles that are horsehair bristle nozzles if that is a concern for you. So yeah, and this brush in here is not the softest, it's kind of rough, so yeah, if you have delicate hardwood or something, I would really kind of pay attention to that and just be mindful of that. But if you have just tile or, vinyl floors or, just common manufactured stuff, I think you'll be fine. So, these large wheels here seem to be decent. I mean, they're cheap plastic, but what do you want for this price? The wheel inside of this feels rubber coated, so that is kind of nice. But if you have the cord hook in the unlocked position, it'll swivel and kind of guide all over the floor. It's very maneuverable. Doesn't really get hung up on things from my experience. So yes. And then you have two wands here that are plastic, and those will go on, and then you would connect your nozzle and then your hose, and that's what you would do your floors with. But you would also use this to, reach up high, or if you need half the length, you can just use one. And almost 4 years of use, I've not had any issues with this machine breaking or having any problems. The airflow and the suction is very strong on this. It does a very good job. It pulls everything up off of the floor. I use this to, I basically use this vacuum cleaner for multiple jobs. I don't abuse it, but I do use it very hard. I vacuum out vehicles with it. I vacuum out other vacuum cleaners with it. I clean, the kitchen floor up with it. I clean out other appliances with it. I have, just anything that's kind of like a dirty general job that I don't want, one of my nice machines to have to deal with, I will pull this out. And it has held up. I have vacuumed up very, very fine clay, soil, dirt off of floors. I have taken this to vacuum, other places outside of my house. And it has held up very well. Now, again, I don't abuse it, but I do use it very hard, and I really don't care too much what happens to it, because it is kind of a cheap machine after all. But I do like this because these have been around for years and years and years. Parts are everywhere for them. Common, cheap, and bags are common and cheap, and I will talk about the bags. It takes the Eureka bags, and you can get, 10 of them or 20 of them for like 10 to 20 bucks, and they will last you quite a while. I get several months out of the bag before I have to change it. But that's just my household. So, yeah. And to be honest, I just buy whatever bags are decent and cheap. I don't really think it's super necessary to stick with genuine bags. You only get a 1-year warranty with this, and to be honest, these DVC microlined vacuum bags I've not had any complaints or issues with in this machine. And so, but you can get like bulk packages of Eureka and M bags. I mean, you can get like a bulk order of like 100 of them if you wanted to, and that would be great. But yeah, if you're a house cleaner or you're somebody who, does a lot of cleaning and a lot of use and everything, I think this is a good option. If you are an older person and you have mainly hard floors and maybe very low pile, area rugs, I think this is outstanding. I can pick this up no problem at all. Honestly, I don't think most people are gonna really have an issue with the weight of this. And the hose is super lightweight. The wand is super lightweight. I mean, the whole thing is just light. And it's a very simple machine that will get the job done. These last a very long time. They are very reliable. And yeah, they're just a great option. I believe they still sell this model right now on Amazon. I think the latest price I saw was like $82, maybe $90. I think that's a little high for these, but again, if it's gonna last you a while, I think that's an okay value. I paid, when I bought mine, about $70, so but it's gonna last you quite a while. If you have a small apartment, if you have an RV, just there's so many different uses for this machine. They are perfect for vacuuming out the car. They are wonderful if you need them to, vacuum around the kitchen, furniture, just all kinds of things. These are wonderful, and you are not limited to the attachments that they provide for you when you first buy the machine. You can go online and you can get a whole slew of aftermarket generic tools and things and build your cleaning arsenal very, very easily with this machine. And yes, it is a very nice machine. I am very happy with it. And I believe that you will be too. I have very little doubt. And a lot of people complain about bagged vacuum cleaners and how they're kind of old-fashioned and stuff. Honestly, from what I've been able to see, bagged vacuum cleaners tend to last longer. They tend to be easier to maintain, and they tend to be a little cheaper over time, because all it is all the dirt stays in the bag. You just change the bag every, month, 2 months, 3 months, however long. Throw it away, put a fresh bag in, and you keep going. So, honestly, I think, because they do sell bagless versions of this, but I would honestly recommend the bagged version more. But if you want the bagless version, go ahead, but I just recommend the bagged version a little more because I think it's just going to be better overall. It's going to last longer, it's going to be easier to maintain, and it's just going to be simpler. So anyway, that about does it. This video on this Eureka Mighty Mite. This review. Would I recommend it? Yes, absolutely. What would I recommend it for? I would recommend it for those who have a smaller home with all hard floors, somebody who is a senior citizen who has mainly hard floors and a couple low pile area rugs. I would recommend them for a secondary machine to go alongside your upright. And these are also very nice for children to use. You know, if you're a parent and you're looking for a lighter machine for your kid to be able to use easy to help out with the chores, I think this is an outstanding machine. And let me grab it real quick. If you needed to, you could just use one wand and, you know, connect the floor nozzle like this for a child, and it would be fine. So I think generally this is a pretty good machine for a lot of different scenarios, and I highly recommend it. The only thing is, if you are looking for something for carpet, thicker carpet, wall-to-wall carpet, this is not the machine for that. Look into an upright vacuum cleaner with a rotating brush. If you want a canister vacuum cleaner with a rotating brush, you're going to have to look at a higher price point. You're going to have to look at about $200 at least to get that. But because these are just not going to cut it for wall-to-wall carpet and thicker carpet. So anyway, that about sums up my review. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.